Hello, everyone. I just wanted to make a little uh, asterisk to my intro before I get into the intro that I'm actually recovering from being sick. So if I sound like I'm running out of steam during some of the readings, that's because I am. I'm recovering from being sick. So hopefully that did not disrupt the messages, and hopefully you were able to get the clarity that you needed, but I will see you at your reading. Bye. Hello. Welcome to the Paradigm Oracle. I am Faye. Today we are doing a reading of guidance. What messages are coming through for you from the full moon in Aries that we have coming up in a few days. If you're catching this after that, this is also a timeless reading. So, whenever you're finding this, whatever messages you watch are meant for you at that time, not necessarily just during this full moon in Aries that we have coming up. Yeah, so this is pretty much going to be similar to the previous reading that I did, which was the new moon in Virgo, slightly different. But I'm sticking with the same decks that I did last time, so you'll be using those for your pile selection. It doesn't matter which deck you pull for this specific reading, just choose the pile that you're drawn to. So, that being said, and I'm not sure if I said it already, I was talking quite fast, but hi, welcome to the Paradigm Oracle. My name is Faye. If I didn't mention that already, if I did, hello again. So, let's get into the piles. So, the first pile, if you're drawn to the Moonology Oracle cards or the selenite crystal, that will be for pile 1. For pile 2, we have the Lemurian quartz and the Moonology manifestation oracle cards. And then for pile 3, we have the rose quartz and the Moonology messages oracle cards. So meditate on either the cards, or the decks or the crystals, and I will see you at your pile. Bye. Hello. If you chose the Moonology Oracle cards or the Celestite, which I hope I said that in the intro and not Selenite. But anyway, if you chose these Oracle cards or the Celestite, this is your reading. So if you watch my previous video, this should be similar but slightly different. The difference is we will actually be using all of the Moonology Oracle cards for each piles. So yeah, let's get into it. I planned, just like that reading, to shuffle off of camera, but Spirit called me again to shuffle on camera, so let's get into it. Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 1 for this full moon in Aries? So first we have conclusions are within reach. And I apologize about the lighting. The sun is shifting right now, so we're just gonna let the sun do its thing, you know? Spirit, what guidance? Oh, okay. And we have full moon in Gemini. Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 1? And we have day moon. So I want to just, of course, point out how all of your cards are full moon, which is ironic because of the full moon that we have in Aries. Actually, I'm going to move this since the sun is like shifting. I don't want that to block the lighting on the cards. With that being said, I keep hearing like your cup is full. Honestly, I keep hearing that over and over. Your cup is full, and it feels almost like you don't realize how much that you have. Your cup is about to overflow, and it's not necessarily a bad thing here. This feels like something that is good. It's just that you have not noticed. I feel like you are the type of person to work very hard, and once you accomplish something, you're on to the next thing. And Spirit is really calling you here to, first of all, recognize what you do have. You're working so hard that it feels as if you haven't taken a moment to appreciate the things that you have worked for. Yeah, it feels very much like you haven't taken the time to enjoy your friends, your family. If you're someone who works very hard to be a provider, like this is almost giving me like kind of like an older sibling energy, or someone who had to be responsible for themselves earlier than they should have been. And Spirit is really coming through with this full moon, wanting you to just kind of absorb and really pay attention and realize how much work you have done, how far you have come. And there's like this energy of saying like you don't need to do all of that anymore. Let things flow to you, let things come to you. Allow yourself time and space to create time and space, or simply not necessarily just create it, but just allow space to be there for things that you truly deeply want to flow in. Because Spirit is almost giving me this feeling of like you want love, you want a connection, be it with friends, be it with yourself, be it with a counterpart, a romantic counterpart. And right now you're working so much where there is no time or space for this person to even come in, because you're so focused on your goals, as you should be. You should be focused on your goals, but you should also make time to enjoy life, for the pleasures of life. You aren't here simply just to, work yourself to the bone. You're here to experience life, to experience all of the things that life brings to you. They're really bringing me to this love card. And for some of you, again, this is talking about love of self, but also love of others, and specifically receiving love. This is talking a lot about receiving love. And now they're bringing me back to the conclusions are within reach. It's because that cycle of you working so hard, grinding so hard, that cycle is up, or it's about to be up. For a lot of you, like Spirit is showing me that it's already up. It's just you don't realize it. That's just all you've done. So that's what you continue to do. But Spirit really wants you to kind of start to ease up on the gas pedal of going 100 miles an hour. Because if you're going 100 miles an hour, how you see things will not be the same if you slow down and you're driving like 20 miles an hour, right? You have more time to pay attention to your surroundings. honestly, like, the feelings that I'm getting from this is just joy. They want you to feel like this joy that they're sending me. They want you to feel free, free to be, free to flow, free to love, free to be loved, free to simply be yourself and go after the things that you want to go after, not go after things with the mindset of trying to survive and, trying to pay bills and that. Like, they want you to really start to change what you're focusing on to what truly brings you happiness, what truly brings you joy, what makes you feel love. Okay, so I think let's put these over here. I'm going to pull another oracle card. Spirit, give me one more card of guidance for pile one. Oop. Okay, Spirit was like, I'll give you two. Thanks for asking. Move this over here a bit. Okay, so we have the number 9 with first quarter moon assessing and waning crescent 2 with resistance. Yeah, this again goes back to what I was saying before, that Spirit really wants you to take a step back and look at what you're doing and why you're doing the things that you're doing. Because there is a resistance of relaxing, of being still, because you feel like you're wasting time. Like, every second counts when you're trying to survive, and the Spirit is trying to tell you, like, you have survived, you have done so much work. You need to take a step back and acknowledge and see all that you have done, and let that sink in. Let that sink in deeply. Because you're missing how successful you have been in your life in overcoming the odds and overcoming so many things that were stacked against you, but you did it. And Spirit is saying, like, now is the time to reap the rewards of all of that hard work that you put in to get to this moment, to this space and time. And Spirit is very proud of you about that. And Spirit is bringing me back to how, like, the full moons are about releasing, and Spirit really wants you to release the burdens that you have been carrying thus far. And Spirit is, like, kind of bringing me back to this, like, they're showing me, like, you holding on, but you don't even realize that you're holding on, that you're being so defiant is the word that's coming through, when it comes to being present, being happy, being safe, because feeling safe is not your normal. You're always trying to survive. And Spirit really wants you to release that mindset. Okay, so I'm going to get a few more cards. Okay, Spirit, what additional guidance do you have for the full moon in Virgo? Wow. I keep saying the full moon in Aries. I don't know if someone's a Virgo here or someone definitely watched the previous video, but the new moon in Virgo video could be significant if you haven't already watched it. So we have night with the number 8. We have Hecate or Hecate. We have first quarter waxing air moon with adaptability, and full moon fire with recognition. So I just want to mention the goddess Persephone is coming through, as well as you can see Hecate or Hecate again, however you would prefer to pronounce it, is coming through. Now they are actually, I believe, deities that are close or work well together. So that in springtime could be very significant for you. Also, I want to mention the number 9, 25, 8, 2, and 4. Those could be significant numbers for you. So with this Hecate card, I'm getting, there's this she's sending me this energy of like saying like things for you have been out of order, basically, which again makes sense with what I said earlier. Like you're used to surviving, so like you're used to surviving and trying to survive. You're always in that. And what she's giving me the energy of is that with the so you can see here the 3. So there's the maiden, the mother, the crone, right? And what she's showing me is that you, instead of going through that phase of the maiden, the mother, the crone, you started off with the mother. And now, and this is confirming what Spirit says, you're transitioning from the mother to the maiden, which is a bit backwards. So that makes sense that you feel uncomfortable, because like this, you're used to being the knight. You're used to being the knight here. You're used to saving. Okay, Spirit is saying saving yourself. So this is almost coming as if this is you and that mother energy, and this is like your inner child, right? So this is like you as the mother, and this in a way is you as the maiden, basically. And Spirit is asking you to release your grip, because now you need to let that maiden side out, because you've been in the mother, that mother energy for so long. And Spirit really wants you to know that they are seen. I'm sorry, that you are seen. But Hecate is coming through saying like black dogs. Now in this picture the dogs are not black, but typically black dogs are like another symbol related to Hecate. So if you're seeing them a lot, that is just her letting you know that she's around, that you are protected, because she sees you, she sees your suffering, she has seen your suffering. This is a deity that is very closely connected to you. Whether you know it or not, you may not know it, but if she is an energy that you would like to work with, she would be happy to continue to work with you. And you could have worked with her in previous lifetimes if that is something you resonate with. I wanted to pull some tarot cards, but my tarot cards in the other room, and I'm not sure if I want to go get those or if I should try to find some in my room that I'm in right now. Okay, so I just found a deck. Okay, I'll just be using a deck that I have in my room. So, Spirit, any final guidance for... Oh, it's a lot of cards. Any final guidance for those that chose pile 1 for this full moon in Aries? So we have the Knight of Swords, Seven of Discs, Five of Cups, and one more card, thank you. And we have the Magician. And the message that I'm getting coming through is, again, Spirit wants to acknowledge all the work that you have done. Spirit wants to acknowledge all the work that you have done and wants you to see. Spirit really wants you to pay attention to your thought process, how you think, the reasons that you do the things that you do. And I don't want this to make anyone like uncomfortable or afraid or anything, but like I'm constantly being shown like this, or being drawn to Lucifer, and like the story of how Lucifer was kicked out of heaven for basically wanting knowledge in a way. And this is being brought to me not necessarily to say that Lucifer is a bad person or a good person. It's being brought up because there's a certain way that you get to where you're wanting to go, right? And sometimes if you're not aware of the reasons that you do certain things. Okay, so basically what they're saying is like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Your intention to work hard and provide for yourself, it's good. This is a good thing. But they're saying correction, it was a good thing. It served you well. But now it's getting to a point where it's no longer serving you because you're not experiencing life. You're not living your life. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not far off from it, but it's like your perspective because of the past is distorting your vision, and they want spirit is coming through saying like they want you to know how capable you are and how easily things can come to you with minimal force without you trying to overcompensate physically, because there's like I'm getting this energy of like there's an over demand for your body and the functions of your body. Your body is doing too much like physically. So spirit is really calling you to find a different way, or there's something that you might be thinking about doing, but you're just so used to like this overcompensation. That's just what keeps coming up. You're so used to like overdoing it to the point where it's like even though you have maybe an idea to do something a little bit different, it's almost like because it may go smoothly, that brings you a lot of fear because you don't know how to function without being overly stressed. The spirit's really coming through saying you don't have to do all of that extra stuff to get to where you deep down inside you know you want to go. You've been being pulled to like a certain direction, but you've been resisting it. You're constantly resisting it. It's like this you can have these golden cups here, but you're like obsessing over like plastic cups that you had. So you have like 2 golden cups, but you're obsessing about 3 plastic cups that you lost or you no longer have, or something like that. That's just an example, but like spirit is saying constantly like you have something in your hand. It's in your hands, but you have to choose to do it and understand that the process to accomplishing this goal is not going to be as physically demanding, as mentally demanding as your previous goals that you've accomplished, because at this time in your life, again, you're transitioning from the mother archetype to the maiden archetype, again, which is a little bit backwards, but it's okay. It's okay. This is your soft era, your relaxing era in your life. So I think those are the messages that Spirit is bringing through for you for this full moon in Aries that we have coming up. I hope it gave you some guidance, and I hope it wasn't too all over the place. But I want to thank your spiritual team, my spiritual team, for facilitating these messages. And I want to thank you also for taking the time to watch the video. Again, I hope it gave you some guidance. If you would like to like, subscribe, comment down below, feel free to do any of those things. I do typically post daily on TikTok, so if you want to check out my TikTok, go right ahead. I think that is it. Yeah, I think that is it. So I also want to again thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile 2 if you chose the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck or the Lemurian Quartz. This is your reading. I'll move this over a bit. And I apologize for the lighting. The sun is going down, so we're going to absorb some of that energy and let the sun do what it does. Do what it does. Anyway, you get what it means. So, if you watched the previous new moon in Virgo reading, we're going to kind of do this reading a little bit different. We're going to actually pull all of the Moonology Oracle cards. So let's get started with that. Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 2 for this upcoming new moon in Aries? And I said that again. Okay, for this pile as well. If you are drawn to my new moon in Virgo reading, please go and watch it. Because there could be some messages for you. All of my readings, no matter if they're for a new moon, full moon, whatever the topic, they're timeless. So go and watch. Spirit has a message for you there. But again, Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 2 for this full moon in Aries? So we have step out of your comfort zone with the North Node. I'm seeing the number 22, so that might be significant for you. Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 2 for this full moon in Aries? We have Pisces with new moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. Spirit, what guidance do you have for this full moon in Aries? Moon called meant to be. So this may not be for everyone, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. For some of you, this is your confirmation that you have a divine connection, a very divine connection in this lifetime. If you resonate with the term twin flame, yes. For some of you, I'm not confirming who this person is. For some of you, this is a confirmation, and then for some of you, this is a confirmation that you do have one, but it's not who you think it is. So it's a bit different for some of you. This is a general reading, so like for some of you, it could be either or. You know you, so use your intuition regarding your twin flame, and I'll just leave that there. But one thing Spirit wants me to reiterate with this reading is that if you're on a twin flame journey, it is more about you than you think. The most important person in this twin flame journey is going to be you, because that is who you're responsible with. You're not responsible for the other party. So Spirit really wants me to reiterate that. This is about, inevitably, this is about you coming into union with yourself, right? All parts of yourself. Spirit is asking you to trust Spirit and trust your higher self. Really dive in and tap into your intuition and growing your spiritual abilities. Some of you have very prophetic, very strong vivid dreams. And that's how your spiritual team is like connecting with you or sending you messages. And for some of you, Spirit is simply saying, find the way that you connect to Spirit the easiest and the most comfortable for you. If that means like journaling or having a journal, for some of you, Spirit is suggesting that, because it feels as if some of you are struggling to figure out, like, how do I communicate with Spirit? Like, I'm hearing a lot of people say a lot of things, but I don't really know, and it's not really connecting. I'm really confused. Spirit is saying, get a notebook, start writing your questions in there, and wait for the answers. For some of you, you have been called to doing tarot, and Spirit is saying, do it. Don't be afraid. And again, back for some of you, it's dream work. For some of you, you do astral projection. A lot of these abilities are starting to come into play for you. For some of you, water scrying as well could be something that you're drawn to, or working with water. For some of you, astrology could be significant as well. But Spirit is saying, for some of you, you just need to like try something. Because it feels as if you're afraid to try things. Make sure you're protected no matter what you're doing. If you're doing tarot cards, whatever you do, make sure you're cleansed and protected. I'm going to pull some more oracle cards to see if we can get some additional messages. Spirit, any additional messages for pile? Should I take it? We're going to take it in reverse. Actually, so Spirit has been wanting me to start taking cards in reverse, but only if the booklet says they take reverse. Okay, so this booklet does not have reversals, so for this we will not be taking it in reverse. But I am going to get one more card. This is about trusting yourself. Spirit really wants you to begin trusting yourself. For a lot of you, Spirit is really encouraging you to do the notebook method of like writing things down. Also coming up with a language to speak with Spirit. So, I don't know, for instance, this is just an example. You put in the book, like, Spirit, if I see a blue butterfly, it means that, I don't know, it means that in this moment I need to be in peace, or I need to self-reflect, or I need to, I don't know, call and check on my mom. Just whatever resonates with you. Those are just examples, but okay. And the funny thing, as I was saying that, I did not even notice that this is like a blue butterfly. That is so funny. And maybe that is, let's start with that. Let's start with this focus card. So let me call out these cards first. So we have Waxing Gibbous 1, which is discernment, and the number 10, the number 14, with waxing gives 5, focus. So, for example, this is just going to be a start if you want to do the notebook method. Spirit wants you to put in the notebook about the blue butterfly that you need to focus within that moment. This is a moment where you need to focus on what you're doing or where you're going or the person that you're seeing. You really need to focus on this person, place, or thing at this time. So let that be the first symbol in your notebook to spirit. That blue butterflies. And I apologize, I'm trying to get comfortable, but blue butterflies need to mean that in that moment you need to focus. But back to the discernment card. This is all just an exercise on building your discernment, building your intuition. That is really what Spirit wants you to work on with this full moon in Aries, releasing whatever is holding you back. And really, I keep hearing fear. So this is about releasing fear of this journey that you're on, because it may be new. It feels like something happened, or maybe you had a vision or a dream or something, and it's triggering like a spiritual awakening in you, and now you're interested in things that you've never been interested in, or you've never heard of, or you've never felt drawn to. And especially if you're coming from certain organized religion, you may have a fear of certain esoteric knowledge. And Spirit is really wanting you to get comfortable in being yourself without the constraints of, if that's your experience of coming from an organized religion, releasing all of that fear and indoctrination that you had before, and understanding that by you connecting with your intuition, and being discernment and connecting with your higher self, that in fact is actually bringing you closer to God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. So this is about learning to trust yourself, and through that, clearly and freely and comfortably connecting with the divine, with God, with the universe, again, whatever you want to call it. So that is the focus for this time. Releasing what is holding you back from connecting to your higher self, to your divine self. Okay, let's pull some more cards. Spirit, give you more guidance for pile 2. For pile 2 for this full moon in Aries. Okay, water is definitely significant for you. But let's call out these cards. We have number 9 with picture, full moon water, fulfillment, black moon fire, recharge, and fountain with the number 10. Also, this is number 4 and number 8, if I didn't say that before. So the numbers 10 and 4 are definitely significant for you, or even the number 40. You could see these numbers a lot. Of course, that doesn't have to resonate with everyone, but this is about getting your power back. Right now, like what Spirit is showing me is like you are meant to give through emotions. That's how you're meant to give within this life. And specifically how you give with those emotions can differ, but I feel strongly also like you may resonate with the term empath. I get this feeling of you being very overwhelmed by other people's emotions, other people's feelings. Like everyone pours into you, but you don't realize it. But Spirit wants you to become like a fountain where it's like you release that out. You're releasing all of that emotion out. You're not holding other people's emotions in. You're not holding in their projections. You're releasing that out and you're letting it flow. You're just letting it flow out. You're meant to transmute it. You're not meant to hold on to anyone else's energy. So this is about, again, connecting to yourself, your higher self, your intuition, utilizing your intuition, utilizing your discernment, and having that move you accordingly, and not being afraid of the feelings and emotions that you feel, but also understanding how to detach yourself away from that and understand that is not my own. I don't keep that. I see it, I recognize it. I can help in the best way that I can, but it is not my burden to carry, right? So right now, this full moon in Aries is about stepping into your power, stepping into your authenticity, stepping into your soul's purpose here, without fear, without doubt, without hearing condemnation, without I don't want to say judgment, because you're going to be judged. Let's be real. But you're not going to hold on to that judgment. You are going to detach yourself from it, and you're going to say, I understand that is how you feel, but that has nothing to do with who I am and how I live my life. This is about rejecting what people have put onto you. You're fulfilling something so great, not only in your soul contract, but for the lineage of your family. Because, okay, for some of you, again, if this resonates, it may not resonate for everyone, but I am hearing for some of you in this pile that you are descendants of witches. For some of you, and I don't know how I don't know, take this one with a grain of salt, but I am specifically seeing that or hearing that for some of you, you are like a descendant or in some way related to the witches of Salem. And it does not necessarily have to be like the Salem witch trials, but there is someone who is a witch in that area. Again, does not necessarily have to do with the witch trials, but just specifically lived in that area and was a witch and was had to be very careful about how they carried themselves, and they could not be public about their beliefs and how they utilize their magic. Yeah, especially like for some of the dream work. they're showing me something about like the stars, and yeah, there was a lot of knowledge that this person had, but they could not share it because it was very dangerous. It was very dangerous. Okay, I'm going to get some final messages. Okay, Spirit, what are your final messages for pile 2 for this full moon in Aries? The Empress. We have Page of Cups, again with that water energy. 5 of Discs. And then the Fool. So, again, we have this water energy. Even in this, we have like the water flowing. I'm not sure if some of you live next to like a flowing body of water. If so, this area is calling out to connect with you. Now you don't have to swim or anything or do any of that. It's simply just asking for you to come there and look upon the water. If you want, you could put your feet in to connect with it. You could put your hands in to connect with it, but you don't have to swim. Because I'm not sure if this is even a place where you can safely do that, so I don't want to recommend that. But this place is calling to connect with you. So if you've been thinking about going to a certain body of water, please go visit it. Because you have a lot of water energy coming through here in this reading. With this Empress coming out, it is giving me that energy of the work that you're meant to do here is not just solely to help yourself. It is meant to help future generations, even if you choose to not have children, or if that's not something that you can physically do. That's okay. This healing does not necessarily mean that you have to have children. This healing will help the next generation of those in your lineage. Now, with this 5 of Discs, Spirit is saying that for some time you will have to go on this journey alone, especially with this Fool card next to the 5 of Discs. You will have to go sometime without receiving support from people that I feel as if people that you fear their reaction when they understand and know that you have chosen to walk maybe a different path than what, let's say, family or friends typically walk. So you will have to go on this journey alone, as far as with the humans around you. But I am seeing a familiar coming through. For some of you, you could end up working or be led to working like on a farm or something like that, working with animals. But I do see like a familiar, a dog or a cat. Specifically for some of you, it could be a snake. Um, yeah, it could differ for each of you. For some of you, it could be fish. Take what resonates. For some of you, you're just not meant to know until that familiar comes into your life. But Spirit wants you to know that this journey that you're on is worth it, because it's not going to only change the life of your family lineage. It is going to change your life, and it's going to make you a much better person, a much more confident person, a much more understanding person, a much more wise person. And they're saying that you are really wise right now, but not to be discouraged, because this is a part of the journey. Yeah, it feels as if you're going into hermit mode right now. And I just looked at the bottom of the deck, and we have the devil here. So there will be some people trying to tempt you away from this path. But under it, like, we have the Eight of Wands, Two of Cups. Like, everything will be okay. Don't let people try to distract you from what you know is best for you. That is all that I will say. There will be a point where, again, this journey will be lonely, but with this Two of Cups, oh, now they want to show me the Page of Discs as well, but with this Two of Cups under the Eight of Wands, like, within no time, you will have a friend or a counterpart. For some of you, it could be both, coming in, and it won't be such a lonely journey, and they will be far more supportive than those who try to take you off of this journey. So I think that is all that Spirit has for you today. So I want to first thank your spiritual team, my spiritual team, for facilitating these messages. I really hope that it gave you some guidance, and I think that is it. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch the video. If you want to like, subscribe, comment down below, feel free to do so. Yeah, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope to see you next time. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching. Bye. Hello, pile 3. So if you chose the Moonology Messages Oracle or the Rose Quartz, this is your reading. So if you watch the new moon reading, we're going to pretty much kind of do something similar but slightly different. We're actually using all 3 of the Moonology Oracle decks in this reading. So let's get started. So Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 3 for this full moon in Aries? What guidance do you have for pile 3? We have, you're very close to achieving your goal. Forgiveness moon. I apologize for the lighting. We're just letting too many cards. We're just letting the sun do what it does. Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 3 for this full moon Aries? So we have full moon in Virgo. Take inspired action. And then we have Moonlit, Embrace Uncertainty. So, what I'm getting is pretty darn straightforward. Spirit is pretty much saying, like, this is really the theme here. You're very close to achieving your goal. You are literally, I shouldn't say literally, but that's how Spirit is giving it to me. Like, you're almost literally, but not literally, one choice away from achieving a major goal in your life. The Spirit is coming through saying, when you're feeling that feeling of inspiration, of creation, that drive, when you feel that energy so much, in that moment is the best time to reflect. If you haven't already, reflect and make that decision that you're waiting to make. And Spirit wants you to also release the outcome of whatever it is that you're trying to manifest or achieve. There's a need to detach yourself from the outcome. It's about making that decision and then letting Spirit do the work, not constantly checking back, thinking that things are 100% or guaranteed. The seed needs to root, needs time to root. The seed needs time to root before it can, sprout. Um, that's what Spirit is showing me. So let's get some more oracle cards for you. And I was going to say I'm going to choose two, but of course, Spirit already read my mind. You may feel drawn to another pile. If so, go ahead and watch that pile. But only if you feel drawn to another pile. That being said, we have number 29 with Wolf Moon Hunger, and number 22 with Waning Gibbous 6 Wisdom. And I'm hearing that song by Duran Duran, and I feel if you feel drawn to the new moon reading, please watch that because I'm pretty sure I mentioned Hungry Like the Wolf from Duran Duran. I can't remember which pile, but if you feel drawn to watching that, all of my pickle cards are timeless. So even the new moon's full moon reading, you can watch those at any time. It's whenever Spirit wants to give you a message, Spirit's going to give you that message. It doesn't matter what the moon phase is. But that being said, I'm getting this energy of like you needing to be hungry for knowledge, because that hunger for the knowledge and the knowledge you gain, trying to satiate that hunger is going to give you so much wisdom. It's going to bring you so much wisdom, and it may bring you a little bit more clarity on what you need to do or what decision you need to make to achieve this goal or to achieve this manifestation. Because one part of that manifestation, again, is releasing it, but there is a decision that needs to be made in order for you to achieve it and manifest it. There's one specific decision that is coming through that is very important, and that is going to set everything in motion. But this is going to be behind the scene. This, you aren't necessarily going to see a lot of this play out. That is why Spirit is asking you, once you make this decision, to just release it and detach yourself from the outcome, because since you're not seeing things happen physically, in front of you, it is going to cause a lot of nervousness and doubt if you're holding on to it, if you're obsessing over it. So that's why there's a need to release it. And I'm also going to pull some more oracle cards. Can I have 4 more oracle cards, Spirit? Guidance for the Moon and Aries. Now, I did not mean to put this in reverse, but let me check if this book even takes reversals. Okay, so this deck does not take reversals, at least for that card, so I'm gonna put that up right. Ooh, your cards are coming out really fast. Okay, so we have last quarter, waning earth moon, fall with principles, number 18 with sacrifice, crescent waxing water moon with instinct, last quarter, waning water moon with manipulation. We have the number 6, 18, 1, and 6 again. I'm going to pull one more card for you. I didn't do that for the other piles just because I feel like I need a little bit more clarification on this. I have one more card, Spirit. Thank you. So we have Knight with number 8. So I think the number 1, the number 2, the number 6, and the number 8 are very significant for you, or those number combinations. Also could have something to do with your birth date or your birth month. This card just fell out, so we're going to take it as well. I'm hearing Spirit is like, it doesn't look as bad. It's not as bad as it looks. I'm going to need to sit with this for a second. So I'm hearing we build a city on rock and roll. Um, I feel this feels like Spirit is giving me this energy. If there's someone around you trying to control you, trying to manipulate you, trying to tell you what to do, and Spirit is really coming through saying, like, be solid. Be solid. Don't let someone of take you off of the path that you know that you're meant to be on. Um, that's also why Spirit wants you to be hungry like the wolf when it comes to the knowledge that you're receiving. Try to learn as much as you can. And Spirit really wants you to create the foundation. And how can I explain this? Because Spirit really doesn't, I really don't want to like butcher this message, but it feels so convoluted in a way. But like, because it's almost, it seems related to this message, but it also seems like slightly different. Um, like a different message is coming through. Spirit is saying that there is someone around you that wants to get you off track. And that's why, again, why they're reiterating, like, when you make this decision, you have to let it go, because the lack of movement that you will see even though there is like a lot of movement happening, it's just you will not see it. This person will get into your head and try to manipulate you and make you think that things aren't going to work out for you. And it could cause you to give up on something that is already yours. Like for some of you, I'm showing like a job, like a position in a career or like an internship, something that you're going for. And then this person gets in your head and they're like, no, like they've received so many applications, you might as well not even apply. It's not going to be worth it. Like there's like too many people. And then you will listen to them and then you will rescind your application. And literally, they had already chosen you for the job, but since you rescinded your application, they have to look for someone else. Now, that's an example. That doesn't have to be the case for everyone, but that's the example that Spirit is showing me. So just be mindful about letting this person get into your head and tell you, almost, it feels like they're going to tell you that you're not worthy or it's not even worth it going for the things that you want. Like, it's like they're telling you, like, you don't deserve the things that you want. So then you don't even try. And Spirit doesn't want you to do that. Spirit wants you to remain curious and remain adventurous and try to learn and grow and get as much knowledge and experience in life as you can. Um, for some of you, I'm hearing like that one decision that you're about to make is either a job or it's like it has to do with moving. Um, and Spirit is saying it will work out. It's going to take time for things to come back to you as far as like any approvals or things like that or raises. It's going to take a minute to get back to you, but it's going to get back to you. And Spirit wants you to trust. Yeah, Spirit wants you to trust. And for some of you, you kind of had like um, you've kind of been thinking something about this person's energy, about this negative person's energy. You've been thinking something is off with their energy, like something about them is not sitting well with me, and you can't really understand. And it's because this person is kind of trying to, they're kind of, okay, sorry, like the cards being kind of like uneven was getting to me, so I had to correct that. But anyway, a lot of you have had an inkling about this person, and Spirit is coming through confirming your inkling is correct. You have to be careful around this person because they have no problem throwing you under the bus, and you may perceive like, oh no, this person would never do that, but then there's something within you that has been like, I don't know, I just have like this feeling about this person, like that isn't really sitting well with me. So, Spirit is saying, trust your intuition on that. Um, if you can, distance yourself from this person and begin to really commit yourself to learning, growing, gaining knowledge right now at this time, because there is a big change happening, a big achievement happening, a big manifestation happening. Again, this is contingent on a decision that you make, and you need to make sure that you're making that decision with the clearest mind, with all of the knowledge and information that you can get. And again, Spirit is saying, like, if you can make that decision when you are in a very high vibration, feeling very creative, that would be even better. So I'm going to get some tarot cards as your last messages from Spirit. Spirit, what final messages do you have for pile 3? Final messages do you have for pile 3? Okay. So it's funny, Spirit has been like, oh, you need to start taking reversals. And then Spirit is like, that needs to not be reversed. Of course, the card wanted to fly. Okay. Spirit, what additional messages? Thank you. Okay. So this time is about focusing on you, getting rest when you can. When you're not resting, your focus on is on you. Again, rest, get up, focus on you. This is kind of what Spirit wants you to be in right now. Um, Spirit is saying, like, don't worry about those other people. Um, don't worry about them, because some people are, and it could be this person, and it feels like for some of you, this person who is going to try to talk you out of like this opportunity, this achievement, this manifestation. Um, they're gonna send some other people your way who you may also be friends with. You're all friends. That's what I'm hearing. But they're gonna start talking and saying things about you, and then it feels like a lot of your friends might fall off because they're going to be manipulated by this person. This person is going to tell them a lot of things about you. I feel like a lot of that is not true, but Spirit is really saying, like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I do see some other friends on the way to you after this, but that is why Spirit really wants you to take this time to focus on yourself, because it can be a little bit, I don't want even want to say a little bit, it can be overwhelming for you um, when you're like trying to take care of yourself and accomplish things for yourself, and then you have to deal with all of the people that you called friends once, you know, throwing daggers at you, trying to disturb your peace. But, and I think that's specifically why I'm probably called to using this deck for this reading. But you see how, like, with the daggers, with the swords, like, there's flowers growing out of it. And this is like Spirit's message coming through saying, like, those wounds are are going to create something that you never would have expected, right? For some of you, it's space for these other amazing people to come into your life and bring you joy and peace and encourage you. Spirit is saying like the complete opposite of these other friends that you had. So Spirit wants you at this time to begin to focus on yourself. So when this person and like possible other friends start acting up and acting out when it comes to you, you won't be phased because you are already your priority. So that is the message that Spirit has for you today for the full moon in Aries. I hope I gave you some guidance, some insight, and yeah, I want to thank your spiritual team, my spiritual team, for coming through and facilitating these messages. And I hope that, again, they gave you guidance. I'm so sorry. I'm like spacing out because I'm also recovering from being sick. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, if you'd like to like, comment, subscribe, feel free to do so below. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.